KULR Space Technology has been making some moves, as we pointed out in our live session this morning. We went live in StockMate and we were saying KULR stock starting to break into this 200-day moving average. You can see it's down about 2% today. But take a look at this. If you look at the recovery that's starting to take place, it's really testing that 200-day SMA, that green line. See that line that's right up against? Yeah, that's interesting because if we see a break above that line, we're looking at a nice level that it has struggled to carry. If this is the previous resistance right here, and this is a support as well, see that support, and then it's also a resistance there. So this level right here at about $2 a share has really acted as a support, and then oftentimes that previous support will act as a resistance. We saw it just touch above the 200-day moving average here and then sell back down. Today, we're between these levels, but we're looking for a break up above that $2 range, and that would be more indication that KULR stock would see more bullish momentum. Now, we know they have a lot of good partnerships with Department of Transportation. They got NASA. They got that SpaceX rideshare mission, as well as Lockheed Martin and some other companies. But when you take a look at the near term, they've had some sell-offs and it's been more volatile. Part of that could be the Bitcoin acquisition, that they have 90% of their money in Bitcoin. Part of that could be because they recently decided that they're not going to tell us who their new partnership is with. I don't know if there's a non-disclosure agreement or what it was, but if you take a look at their company, KULR Technology, you can go to their website, see their partnerships with some of the heavy hitters in the space industry. And they're also recently relocated. They relocated to Texas. So now their new location, they're right next to Lockheed Martin, some of these space companies. So they're in a good spot. But they just announced they have this new M35A battery cells. So they make batteries that withstand extreme temperatures, perfect for space exploration. And they say, we just have a new we have a NASA certified M35A battery cell that we got selected by a leading private US space company, and they're not disclosing which company it is. So that's interesting. They don't say which company they just partnered with. Maybe there's an NDA, maybe it's SpaceX, maybe it's Rocket Lab. But actually it couldn't be Rocket Lab because it's private. So maybe it's Blue Origin, maybe it's SpaceX, maybe it's a different company. But the fact that they don't tell you, that's like, I'd love to know what company that is. But that's okay. It's all right. So what you can see recently is it's hovering, consolidating from left to right between this $1.50 range and this $1.70 range. And it's been getting, basically, it's been bouncing right here, and it's been getting rejected at that $1.70. So right now it's at this support. No indication just yet of a reversal, but that it's here. You can see it's right around that $1.57 range. And if we see this pattern kind of continue, this left to right consolidation that's happening, let's drop it down a little bit more so you really see this past 3 days basically. From here to here, it's just this consolidation. And essentially, if it is going to bounce here, it would look something like this, and we can see a recovery of about 10%. So that's what looks like. And then, of course, if we see it get into this level that it previously was just at right here, that'd be about 17%. And that's basically continuing some of this trend here that's starting to develop. Now, outside of that, you could see there's a really strong level there. So if it breaks above that $2 range, then that's when we could potentially see, or even speculate, that it could recover to previous highs. But what's holding them down right now is that they bought so much Bitcoin. Bitcoin's down today, they're down today. Maybe that's correlated, maybe it's not. We know it's not 100% correlation because investors don't have to buy it. They can just buy Bitcoin instead. And the thing is Michael Saylor announced that he is basically selling all of, trying to get over to the financials. Michael Saylor is selling stock shares in order to buy more Bitcoin, diluting the own company to buy more Bitcoin. Now, we know that Michael Moe, the CEO, met with MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor, and that they had a conversation, and shortly after, they decided to allocate 90% of their Bitcoin into 90% of their cash, into Bitcoin. So if you take a look at their announcements, head over to their news, KULR Tech. There was this holdings here. KULR expands their holdings. They have an average purchase price of around $99,000, and they have 60 million in Bitcoin. So compared to the revenues, just keep this in mind. If they have a $99,000 average purchase price, I'm bullish on Bitcoin long term. But when it comes to this move, it's very risky. You take a look at their financials here, and the company's a $381 million market cap. And if their revenue is about 3 million a quarter, we see it increasing a little bit here. Is the revenue increasing? Just recently, it's at 3.2 million, and we're watching it closely. Year over year increase, net income negative 2 million. They're not losing much, just negative 2 million. They're a space company. Obviously, there's some innovation there. They're spending money. Revenue's increasing. They made 3.2 million in the quarter. Over the whole year, they're sitting around probably around 10 million in revenue. So they're in 10 million in revenue. If they go and buy Bitcoin now and they have $99,000 average purchase price, so let's take a look at what Bitcoin looks like on the near term here. They are at 84,000 is what Bitcoin's at. I am not a genius, but I can pull out a calculator and we could run it. What is 99,000 divided by, 84,000? That's what it is. 84,000 divided by 99,000. That's 84%. So 84.8%. We'll call it 85%. So the money they put in Bitcoin is basically 85% of what they put in is how much they have. So they've lost 15%. So just to put that into perspective, they put in 60 million. Okay. And they have lost $9 million unrealized loss. So it doesn't necessarily mean they've lost it. Bitcoin can recover. In fact, if we look at Bitcoin on the 1 year, it's at the 200-day moving average, starting to look bullish. I could see it bounce here. We just did an analysis recently, and yeah, it looks like it could bounce here and continue up. The bullish sentiment says we're going to see that, and maybe we see 125 grand next. Who knows? But I just wanted to share that with you. Is that they took an L there, and that's part of why their stock so far they haven't taken an L. They're almost taking an L there, I should say, and the stock has gone down. They've lost 9 million in value, not so much net loss, as a result of putting that 90% of cash in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's appreciating massively year over year. I personally, as a business owner, want to hold Bitcoin. I think most business owners seeing cash and all the inflation, everything, and then seeing the average return of Bitcoin over the last 10 years versus the market are saying, yeah, I think I want to put my cash into Bitcoin. Speaking of which, if you're interested, CryptoMates, we just recently launched it alongside StockMate. We have a special new early bird sale going there. If you want to be a part of it, it's the 4th link in the description to check out CryptoMate. We're just launching it with Ace Green, and I'm excited to get that out there and get that channel rolling. So we'll have that there. Go check it out. No videos there yet, but there will be this week. Excited for that. Anyway, the reality is that KULR stock is now starting to see if Bitcoin recovers and their overall chart, when we're looking at the company, is breaking above maybe this 200-day moving average. It looks volatile, but remember, it's such a small market cap that they're starting to maybe get some momentum here, breaking above this average, starting to maybe hit this $2 price point again, which would be about a 20% increase from current prices. But if it hits that price point again and Bitcoin rallies as well, we could see KULR stock do very well. They're in battery tech. They've got a pretty good pin on the market. There's not a lot of battery tech space companies out there, right? It's about an $8 billion industry, and they have just $350 million worth of that market, according to their market cap right now. So I'm looking forward to trading it. If you guys want to watch us trade KULR stock and other companies that are in AI, quantum, tech, and space, I would encourage you guys to check out that second link in the description. That's Stock Meet. I go live there each day at market open. I would encourage you to simply take a look. Thank you guys again for watching. Fire your thumbs up, hit that like button. Do consider subscribing. Leave your thoughts on KULR below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.